Hello, okay, today we're going to get into our last part of our study in mental illness, the personality disorders, all 10 of them. If you look here on the screen, I really like this car analogy. This might be able to help you if you want to take a little bit closer look at this. It's very cute, so I saw that, decided to show that to you. Learning targets for today, we're going to describe what personality disorders are and explain how they're a little bit different from other psychological disorders. And then we will list and describe the 10 personality disorders in your appendix. Not your appendix, but the... Okay. Personality disorders are... We learned about personality traits. These are patterns of inflexible traits that sort of disrupt a person's social life and or work and may cause distress to the affected individual. It usually shows up by late adolescence. And how are they different from psychological disorders? Well, psychological disorders are illnesses that are episodes. In contrast, personality disorders are enduring traits that last throughout a person's life. So while things like depression and schizophrenia may last throughout a person's life, they have particular episodes where it may be worse than normal and then get better, and then get worse and then get better, whereas a personality disorder is enduring, and it's a major component of the person's personality. So they divide, the DSM-4 and 5 divide this into 3 clusters. So cluster A disorders are the ones that are odd and eccentric. And if I could think of or research a fictional character to give you an idea of how this personality disorder affects someone, I did. Lots of people don't really write about the cluster A disorders. They don't make good fictional stories. But there's paranoid, schizoid, and schizotypal, or typal. And paranoid personality disorder is characterized by paranoia, long-standing distrust of others, and interpreting others' intents as malevolent or evil. Schizoid lacks any interest in social relationships. And I thought it was funny that Belle from Beauty and the Beast saw this. All she likes is her books, right? She shows apathy, social coldness, and a solitary lifestyle, and she's fine with that. So a schizotypal needs social isolation because they are fearful of social relationships and social situations. They have odd behavior and odd thinking, and they don't really know how to react or talk back to people in conversations. So the difference between schizoid and schizotypal is schizoid avoid people out of lack of interest or desire, and schizotypal avoids people out of fear. So that's the key difference. Cluster B are your dramatic disorders. These are the ones that people write about. So Regina George from Mean Girls, Michael Scott from The Office, these are your histrionics. They have excessive emotion and they need attention. Sometimes they have an inappropriately seductive behavior or an excessive need for approval, and they also are theatrical a lot of times. That's why they fit into the dramatic cluster. The antisocial people basically don't care about the rights of other people. They usually have legal problems, a history of crime sprees, they're impulsive, and they show aggressive behavior. And this would be the Joker in Batman or any sort of villain from any television show or movie. Borderline personality disorder, or also sometimes known as emotionally unstable. Harvey Dent from Batman, Anakin Skywalker from Star Wars, Chip from The Cable Guy, Jim Carrey, the main character, is a perfect borderline personality disorder. They have instability of their interpersonal relationships and self-image. They fear they will be abandoned. They're easily irritable, and sometimes they may try to commit suicide out of that fear of abandonment. And then we have narcissistic personality disorder. They're preoccupied with power, prestige, and vanity. And this would be Scar from The Lion King. Cluster C are your anxious disorders. The avoidant personality disorders, they feel like they're always inadequate. They're extremely sensitive to negative evaluation, and they usually try to avoid social interaction. And a good example of this is Charlie Brown from the Peanuts. Dependent personality disorder, I found a whole Harry Potter series of personality disorders, but Peter Pettigrew, or Wormtail from Harry Potter, is a dependent. His psychological needs are dependent on other people. He relies on other people to meet his physical and emotional needs, that being he who must not be named. And then obsessive compulsive personality disorder is Sheldon Cooper from The Big Bang Theory. He is preoccupied with being orderly, perfect, often a lot of times at the expense of flexibility. And you may get this confused with regular obsessive compulsive disorder, but remember, for someone with a personality disorder, it's a part of their personality and they see it as rational and they want to behave that way. Here's a review of the different types of disorders. How do we explain it? Well, let's get to the easy slide. Psychoanalytic view views it as a lack of guilt due to a problem in the development of the conscious causes the antisocial personality. And they use antisocial here as all of the personality disorders, not just the specific antisocial one. Other psychological views say childhood experiences teach children how to relate to other people, and if they get attention only when they behave badly or don't have appropriate role models, they may develop these personality disorders. And the biological view says that heredity may play a role as well as not having enough neurons in the frontal lobe of your brain. So that is an overview of personality disorders. I hope you found it helpful. And just finish that up with your learning targets, and I'll see you tomorrow. Goodbye.